by taking attendance, and then we'll and then announcements. So I'm going to ask everyone to orally verify that you're here. And I'll start with Commissioner Adler.
Here.
Okay, Commissioner Jimon.
Here.
Commissioner Lynch.
Here.
And chair is present, quorum of 4. So the meeting is called over. Oh,
I'm here.
is that Vice
Yes,
Chair?
I'm finally on the phone.
Vice Chair Rice is here. We have 5 commissioners in attendance, and we are officially in 11:42. Thank you very much. This should be a short meeting. I'm going to start with the usual announcements. As I think everybody knows by now, though, that the whole purpose of this meeting is to remedy a technical glitch that happened in last month's meeting, where the connection information in the agenda was not entirely accurate. And so even though we've had no complaints that I'm aware of from any members of the public who tried and failed to get in, we're just dotting I's and crossing T's here to make sure that we're doing everything by the books in terms of the open meetings law. So we have 1 commissioner present physically, and the rest are on remote. If at any point we lose quorum as a result of connection problems with any of the people on remote, we will suspend for 10 minutes to try to retrieve that connection and regain quorum. If we fail to regain quorum, then we will have to adjourn the meeting and conduct no further business at that point. There are actually only items for action on this agenda, and the first one should be very quick. It's to reaffirm approval of the April meeting open session minutes. Can I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Commissioner Jimon Moose, Commissioner Adler seconds. Is there any discussion? Okay, I'm going to use the usual voting method unless there is an intention expressed to vote no or to abstain. I will take the vote as unanimously in favor. So does anyone intend to vote no or abstain on this motion? Hearing no objections, the April minutes are accepted, and on to the next item. Now, this is the only substantive item, and this is to revisit the item concerning the City Council and Salary Commission resolution, which was prompted by written testimony submitted for last month's meeting by Natalie Iwasa. Everyone should have access to last month's meeting materials, so I will not read that out, but to just summarize very briefly, she was asking the commission to confirm whether or not there is a conflict of interest for city council members in various aspects of voting on the budget and other items that involve their own salary. And so in our discussion here, I have, and you may have access to, should have access this morning to a PDF of not yet submitted draft minutes, just of that section that reiterates the discussion. I'll just summarize to say that at the June meeting, agreed to consider a motion to refer this issue to the ethics staff as a commission-initiated complaint for investigation. So I'm going to ask for a motion to reconfirm that motion.
So moved.
Commissioner Jimon, thank you.
Second.
Commissioner Adler seconds. Is there any discussion? Last month, the vote was 6-0 with no abstentions, and I'm going to again ask, is anyone planning to vote no or to abstain this time? Okay, hearing none, the motion carries unanimously, 5-0. So that concludes our business for this meeting. Unless anyone, commissioners, do you have anything to raise before we adjourn?
Yes.
Staff, anything we need to, yeah, go ahead, Peter.
We've got to do something about WebEx.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I'm
I think
serious.
everybody recognizes, yeah.
Yeah, so what is the obstacle to changing over to a Zoom?
I think the problem, Chair, is that we have to get a license, like
Yes.
University, we have a license.
Yes.
And getting a
So
license,
it's
sorry.
costly. This is Erin. And WebEx is free. It's supported by the city and county. That's why we use it. If we were to go over to Zoom or another platform, we would have to pay for licensing, which we don't currently have in our budget. And from my preliminary research into it, it's $160 annually per user. And we would need at least 2, probably 3 users. And none of our staff, as far as I'm concerned, or as far as I'm aware, is familiar with that platform. So there would also be, the learning curve on that as well. And I'm not sure what is causing the recent, issues that we've had within WebEx, but as far as I know, the issues that we have dealt with, it's been a matter of like new situations come up, new things, and we've kind of dealt with it. I know it's unfortunate, I know it's frustrating, but I think a lot of it is just user error. And I don't know if switching platforms is necessarily going to solve the problem, but I don't know. I mean, it's open for discussion, and yeah, but that's basically what the situation is as I'm currently aware.
Okay,
So
so
what
Zoom,
about Microsoft Teams?
I'm sorry.
What about Microsoft Teams?
Again, I'd have to look into it. I'm not familiar. I know Zoom was one of the mentioned ones that, commissioners were interested in. So that's what I looked into. But again, I'm pretty sure there's a fee. And so we'd have to find out about that. But currently, that's the thing, is we don't have anything budgeted for this because we do have WebEx, and, we didn't request it in our budget. So we don't have specific monies set aside for that. So it would have to come from some other part of our budget.
does
Many
the
of us are
city,
Apple users though, and I'm not sure it's compatible with Apple. I haven't tried it, so I don't really know. But I know everybody that is an Apple user is having trouble getting into it.
Well, actually, I'm entered twice, once remotely and once on my personal iPad, and I haven't had any issues doing that. So I
Okay.
don't know if it's different between the Mac computer versus, the Mac iPad or whatever, but so I believe Jan's entered in before using an iPhone. So I don't know what the current other issues are with using Mac, but
I wonder
I'm using,
also if it-
I'm logging in from a Mac right now. I didn't have any trouble.
okay. I wonder if any of the commissioners also are using older computers that might have trouble using software.
If I could just jump in here for a minute,
Please.
because technically we're not, this matter wasn't on the agenda. I mean, it could possibly fall underneath announcements, possibly changing platforms, but technically this matter wasn't on the agenda, so.
Yeah, we're
perhaps-
not proposing any action, Lori. We're just talking here. So I think that
Okay.
we're okay. But I
Okay.
also, I think that at this point, first of all, I have another question, which is, does the city require city departments to use WebEx, or is it the department's option?
it's a department's option. It isn't required, but again, it might, if we switch over to another platform, it doesn't necessarily mean we'll get DIT support. Currently,
Right,
if we have
understood.
issues within WebEx, DIT will support us, and but yeah, if we switch over to another platform, there's no guarantee that they can or will support us.
Understood. Well, I think at $500 a year for 3 licenses under 500, potentially a Zoom option, or maybe another platform if you see any others that are competitive with that are also well established and user friendly. We might want to consider those in the future. Just planting that idea, staff, maybe think among yourselves whether you want to investigate that further. Obviously, several commissioners have issues using WebEx, so I think it's probably worth considering.
Okay, thank you for that.
And if it becomes a matter for commission action, then we'll take it up at the appropriate time. But for right now, I think really the ball is in staff's court.
Thank you. I think, yeah, there might be some issues with the budget. Because at this point in time if we are gonna switch platforms and we need extra budget for it, it couldn't happen until fiscal year 26.
Right.
So,
Next
Yeah, but it-
summer. Yeah.
right. It would be from next summer.
Yeah. Well, anyway, just planting that seed.
Sounds like my husband's doctor's appointments at Stroud. Next year.
I
Well,
feel
I
you.
just want to say thank you to Leland and Allison for helping me clumsily navigate even to get here today. So I'm appreciative of the staff's efforts on this stuff. Thank you, Leland. Thank you, Allison. Thank you, everybody.
Commissioner.
Yeah, okay, anything else that we need to hit before we close it out?
I move to adjourn.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
There's 2 seconds. Commissioner Adler's second was first. First second gets to be the second. Okay, anybody have any objection to adjournment?
No.
No.
Very well. Thank you all very much. Appreciate your taking the time today and putting in the work to help us get this done. The meeting is adjourned. And
Thank you,
everybody,
everyone.
see you all next month.